I'm really impressed that nobody got injured. Like,
Yeah.
I
agree.
Yeah, there's 6 of us. I mean, did you guys take any bad tumbles during the ski trip?
I let's just say I'm really glad I rented out a helmet because
Holy
I think about 80% of my falls involved me my head just getting fucking whiplash back. And
Right?
hitting the back of my
Didn't
head.
you like kill a toddler, Gaunt?
I almost did. Because on the first 2-3 days, I didn't know how to stop.
Yeah.
So my technique for stopping involved falling over. And if I didn't fall over, I would just basically take out whoever was in front of me.
There's this great photo that Luke took of you, just like there's this kid right here, and then there's just Gaunt menacingly behind me, like I'm about to destroy you. Move out of the way.
So I must have decked at least 3 kids on the slope in the first 3 days.
Oh my God, God, the kid killer.
Thank God, no one got injured except for those 3 kids.
Yeah, none of us got injured, God.
It was like a competition because me and Luke just kept fucking crashing into each other on the first 2 days because we had zero control.
Yeah.
We didn't know how to control our boards, right? And I remember Luke decked Joey once.
Yeah, Luke fucking leg swept me.
I had a great POV of this. I was like,
Really?
I was leading everyone down the right slopes,
Yeah.
and then I was waiting for them at the bottom, and I saw Joey just slowly going down like this.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, RKO, I just see our friend Luke, who doesn't know how to stop, just coming. And I see Joey's and I'm I'm about getting my popcorn out. I'm just waiting for this to happen. Yeah, and then Joey's going, doesn't move his head at all. And then suddenly he just goes, doom, right in the back of his legs. And Joey just flips over. It's so funny.
Because all I heard, because I was slowly going down because it was kind of a narrow stretch, and also I was waiting for Luke, right?
Yeah.
So I was slowly going down because I saw you guys there, and I remember specifically behind me, I could hear Luke in the distance going, sorry. And it's just getting louder and louder and louder. But I thought he was saying that to other people, right, that were behind me.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Luke, silly him. Silly him. It gets louder. Sorry. And then just bam! Right in the back of my knees. I just get flipped over.
I should have been more concerned, but it was so funny.
Yeah. I wish you had filmed that.
Yeah. By the time I realized it was happening, there was 5 seconds until collision. Couldn't have got my phone out, but I wish I did.
I wanted to see.
I wanted to see that.
I wish I had my GoPro on permanently.
Yeah, right.
I was too busy falling over myself to really see what everyone else was falling over. Because I remember I had a few bad tumbles, but actually some of the worst tumbles was when I was just actually not going the fastest. It was because when you go fast, sometimes you guys saw me have some pretty big falls where I did a fucking triple backflip or whatever, or whatever. But to me, those falls are fine because you take the momentum and then you just literally roll with it, right? And you hardly feel it. Some of the worst falls I had was on the second day.
I think I saw this one.
Yeah, these guys were trying to warn me not to stop myself with my hands, right? Because sometimes if you have a bad fall and you stop yourself with your hands, you could
snap your wrist.
You can snap your wrist or break your arm or something. So they were telling me, you gotta fall on your arms. You gotta do this. Make sure you don't try to catch yourself. You gotta do this, and you like this, right? Yeah. And I took that as I'm going to do this, right? Not realizing the mistake I was about to encounter, because what happens is I had I was taking a bunch of tumbles. I was like, this doesn't hurt. I'm a fucking pro at falling over with a snowboard. So there's one time I was going down this really the slope wasn't steep at all. I was going pretty slowly, but I just catch the edge and I'm about to fall straight to my face. So I do what they tell me and I tuck my arms in. Unfortunately, my fists were right in front of my face. Right? So what happens is I fall on my arm and I just fucking deck myself in the face. I just go, whoosh. And I remember I fall over and when you have a bad fall and you just gotta lay there and just question life for a bit.
That's when you know it's bad.
Yeah. And I remember I lay there for a few seconds and I just hear Connor going, right, go on.
Because I just saw this, because obviously it looks like ants in the background. I just saw Gaunt just fall on his face, and I was like, get back up, Gaunt. Get back up. Get back up. And then he didn't get up, and I'm like, oh no, he hurt himself.
There was a couple of times, like on the last day, I think, where you did that triple backflip, right? I saw it in the distance, and I was like, oh, that looked like it hurt. And then God just did a move for about 20 seconds. I was like, oh, he's dead. Oh, he's straight up dead.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one. I just saw like someone doing like flips, but not the good
I
kind
could
of
hear the
flips.
SSX music playing when that was happening. It's like, it's tricky!
He took so many falls.
I did. But
so
I
bad.
think that's when I learned the most, though. When you do take the falls,
Yeah,
on
It's
exactly.
not about how many times you get hit down. It's how many times you get back
It's
up.
about drive.
Yeah.
It's about the drive.
It's actually like the most embarrassing fall I took wasn't even on the slopes; it was on the ski lift.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because well, Joey was there because me and Joey were trying to get on the ski lift together.
It's like two-man ski
So
lift.
it was a 2-man ski lift. So me and Joey line up together. So we're just gonna have a nice chill ride up on the mountain. And so I look back. I've done the ski lift a bunch of times, so I'm not even a beginner anymore. I'm
Yeah.
I like know how to get on the ski lift, right? So
Also, you thought.
It is a lot harder on a snowboard than a ski.
Yeah.
Also, I thought because I'm standing there waiting for the ski lift to come around. I look back, and in my mind, I take a mental note of the momentum of this ski lift, right? So I know how fast this thing's going.
Yeah.
And so right before it gets near us, I turn around thinking it's going to have the same momentum, not thinking that they're going to slow it down for us. So what I do is I turn around and I just sit. And you know that feeling where you take a step where you think there's like a stair and then there's just not.
Yeah.
So I had that feeling where I sit down and I just feel nothing and I'm like, oh no. And like I just collapse.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I notice is I feel like the fucking bump on the back of my helmet, which thank God I was wearing a helmet at this point.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, they're going to stop the ski lift. So my instinct is just to adopt the fetal position while they hopefully stop the ski lift. Plot twist, they don't stop the ski lift. And so the ski lift just goes over me. And Joey, I guess, just snowboards over me because I look up thinking, what the fuck's happened? And I just see Joey just looking back on the ski lift being like, you're right, dickhead.
Oh no, it was because it was amazing. Because
I'm
like,
surprised they didn't stop it. They
Yeah.
should have
Yeah.
stopped
no,
it.
right? Because how I usually do it with like skis or snowboards is I wait for the chair to
hit you,
physically
yeah,
hit me in the
yeah.
back of the knees. So that's where I know. Oh, it's right underneath.
Kind of like
Yeah.
bend over.
Yeah.
Just get my butt ready.
So I was doing that. I was looking back, just waiting until it hits me right here, and then I look over, look up, sit down, thinking it's all good, and then I hear like this horrible scraping sound from somewhere. I was like, what's going on? I look over and Garth's just down there under the thing, just like this. And I was like, oh, they're gonna stop it. They don't stop it. It's right over Garth. I was like,
That's cruel.
all right,
That's
bye, I guess. Oh yeah, and then they finally stop it after it's gone past you.
Yeah.
And the woman comes over being like, "You all right?" I'm like, "What do you mean you all right? You should have stopped it. Why did you check up on him after you let the chair go?"
it's like watching a fight with the teachers, like watching the kids
Yeah,
fight at
yeah.
school. They're like when it's over, like, oh, you guys all
And
right?
it's like, I'll wait for them to throw a few.
Yeah, I'll break
punches
it up
first,
after
and
it's
then break it
over.
up. Yeah.
But no, that was the most embarrassing one because it just like everyone was just obviously staring at me. I stopped the entire ski lift, and yeah, that was just like social anxiety up through the roof because I'm just like,
it happens, man.
yeah, I know it happens.
They
Yeah,
can't see your face.
that's true. That's true.
You're completely
That's
covered
true.
up.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah. Aside from that, had a fucking wonderful time. My body hurt a lot, but
Yeah.
it was worth it. I'm like just raring to go again. Honestly,
It's probably like some of the best snow I've ever snowboarded or skied on in my life. It was
Nisco's,
amazing.
yeah, how's it compared to like European ski resorts?
I think I like European ones more. They're normally bigger, way more like options. But I mean, the quality of snow is insane. It was so good.
It powdered snowed like,
So,
maybe
like,
2 meters a day or something.
Yeah. So most of the black slopes weren't like groomed. So we went on one, and it was literally just like it was like
Meters.
on a cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I fell over on one of them because it was just too deep and it's so hard to turn. And it was really bad because I basically just shoveled a shit ton of snow into my jacket and pants.
Oh,
And I was freezing, and I was like in the cold with my hand trying to scoop this out, like minus 15, trying to get all the snow out. Because if you just leave it in, it'll just melt, and then you'll be wet.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
even worse. So
That's the worst.
I'm trying to get it out. I'm like, fuck. And then I had to like ski for another hour. My ass was completely numb. I couldn't feel anything. It was so bad. And I when I got back to the room, I was like, I can't feel my ass. Oh, it's been numb for like a good 2 hours. Someone could have smacked my ass and I would have known.
That clip's definitely going to be taken out of context.
I can't feel my ass.
I can't feel my ass. I just took such a beating.
It's so
Right?
numb.
From doing too much riding on the board. It's so good though. It was really cool. It was really good ski resort. I want to go back.
Snow.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass to get to, but good.
Yeah.
I think if I go there again, I'd probably want to like go to Sapporo for a bit or something.
Yeah.
And then go there.
I think that's what like a lot of tourists do is they like kind of maybe dedicate like a week or two for like the whole thing because it is kind of out of the way, especially if you're coming from Tokyo.
Sapporo's a really fun city.
Yeah, Sapporo's a great city.
Sapporo's a really chill city.
Like all I wanted to do on the ski trip was just get the basics down for my snowboarding, and I think I managed to do that. So,
I think so.
Yeah, so now I'm like more
Proud of
confident.
you, Carl.
Thank you.
Came along very well.
Yeah, you improved a lot.
But yeah, now I'm just ready to like tear it down with the boys for real, hopefully, and
Alright.
try and keep up with them.
It's the real SSX tricky.
I want everyone to get better so that then Chris feels obliged to do reds. But he has no choice because no one wants to do greens anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we accidentally went down a reds on our
Yeah.
second day, like we just said.
Didn't go amazing, but we made it down.
Didn't go amazing, but we survived. That's the important thing. We
There was this basically there was this tiny little little sign that was like, go this way if you want to go back to where you came from on a green.
Yeah.
And if you go down straight, which is like the whole thing, you know, you wouldn't, it's really hard to see this thing because it also goes back in on itself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the slope goes down this way and there's a little cut off here where it goes down and back around and then joins off to like another mountain.
It's impossible to see considering
And the
the
conditions are really
entire
bad.
thing is white.
The conditions are really bad.
So just everything just
Yeah.
blends in.
And then I was last because I was making sure everyone was all right. And then I was like, oh no, the Luke, who I was with at the time, because I'm pretty sure he was last, he went down the red and I was like, oh shit.
moments before a disaster.
I'm like, he just like went down the red. And I was like, fuck. And then I'm like, oh my God, they've all gone down the green and then we're stuck here. And it's like lunchtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like 1:30 and I was like, oh, we probably would be eating by now. Like we're
Yeah.
fucked because like, we want to go have lunch with them as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So how do we get back? Like, but then luckily all these fucking idiots went down the red as well.
Turns out we all missed it.
So we all met up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then this green was really annoying as well because it was like it was like a flat, really, really flat. And I told the guys, I was like, guys, you got to make sure you get as much speed as you can on your snowboards.
Yeah.
So
We're
you
like-
don't walk any of it.
We're like, got it. Put snowboards on. 2 seconds later, falls on our ass. All right, taking it off
And
now
so-
and walking the whole way.
Yeah.
So I'm going as fast as I can. I'm like getting low to the ground, like get aerodynamics.
Yeah.
I get over there and I'm like, oh my God, I made it. All right, nice. I'm waiting. I'm like, they'll come any second now. Like 10 minutes later, they come around the corner walking. And I was like, what is this?
Okay, to be
Scary.
fair, we did attempt to snowboard. To me, it wasn't a case of getting to the end. To me, it was a case of how far can I get before I fall over? Because like I knew once I fell over, that was it. Momentum was gone. I got to take off my fucking.
It is
board.
hard to go fast on a snowboard.
Much easier on skis.
I don't know. I just kind of again. I was like I'm all self-taught with it.
Yeah.
So you just kind of get a feeling for it. I guess.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, by the end of the week, we all, I think, definitely got a feeling for it.
Go
Yeah.
fast.
Go fast.
I mean,
Gotta
we
go
were going
fast.
hell of a lot faster on the last day compared to the first day. That's for
That's
sure.
true. That's
Like
true.
Grant was fucking blitzing down this mountain. And I was like, oh God, he's about to SSX tricky right now. I could feel it.
Yeah. Well, we had to get back to like our ski resort, and they closed the like way of getting over.
Yeah, yeah,
What do you
yeah.
call it? What would you call the? What's the not the bridge?
Ski lift,
No,
gondola?
what's the? It's like a pathway. There's a word for this, right? When
Pathway.
no, not a pathway.
Slalom?
There's I forgot the word.
I forgot what it was.
There's a
yeah.
word for like an entrance that is like a. I don't know.
An
I wish I had
entryway?
it. No. Anyway,
You're literally using all the words I would
I know,
use
I
to
know.
describe
So
this
there's a
place.
path, right? And it closes at like 3:30. So we
Yeah.
had, so I was like, fuck, okay, if you don't go back over as well, you have to get like a 40 minute bus ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd rather kill myself than get a bus. It's just so depressing when you've got all your ski gear.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And you got to sit on this bus. It's like, oh no, why would I do that when I can ski back, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. So me and Hara were going to go back over. And then we asked the guys, we're like, are you guys coming? And they were like, no, we'll get the bus. Because it was like kind of tough. You had to ski a bunch, quickly get on a chairlift, ski over, then walk over, and then ski back down. It is
Yeah.
kind of difficult, especially
Yeah.
if you're tired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And then they weren't doing it. And I was like, all right, no worries, we'll do it. So we were going. And then right before we were about to cross it, they called us and they were like, oh, yeah, actually, we'll do it. I think we can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, shit. It's like Mission Impossible now. Gotta like get these boys back
Time
over
trial.
safely.
Yeah.
Felt like
Mario Kart time
saving
trial.
Private Ryan back to the hotel. We've got to get them back over. So we had to quickly like rush these guys, and we were like, "No falling, just go.
Yeah.
Don't stop."
Just be good.
Yeah, because they shut it off at 3:30 for some reason. I don't know why. It's weird.
It's because at 3:30 the sun fucking sets, so you just can't see anything. Especially up there, like even during the day, the visibility was so bad.
Yeah,
Right?
it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely understand why people will snow and skiboard from this trip, though, especially on the last day where the visibility was clear. And I just kind of realized, oh, snowboarding and skiing is just hiking, but the fun parts, right? Because you don't
going down.
yeah, go. You get like the amazing view, but you don't have to put in the effort of like getting that amazing view.
Isn't it crazy when you like you're on the ground and you look up at the mountain and you see how steep some of these things are?
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I ski down there. I snowboard down there. It's crazy.
Yeah. Because I remember on the first day when we stayed on the beginner slope.
Yeah.
So the beginner slope had this ski lift to take us up the beginner slope. And taking us up, because it was so slow, it took us like, 15 minutes, I think?
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes.
10,
It's like
15 minutes.
minutes.
So in my mind, I'm like, oh, we're going up like half the mountain. Holy fuck. And then I remember on the second day when Connor was like, oh yeah, we're going to go to the top of the mountain today. Yeah. And I'm like, cool, where was the beginner slope? And he points to this point, which is like 1/10 of the way up the mountain. And you're like, what? you mean we were this low?
But the view was so good from there.
The view was already amazing. What's going on? But 10 out of 10 would recommend skiing to anyone who, like me as a kid, wasn't able to go, and especially if you're from a Southeast Asian country.
John is a white man now.
Unfortunately, it just happens to be like the most expensive vacation sport you can do.
Yeah.
But it is good. It is really good. And you know, you can do budget ones. There's plenty of like budget packages that I know that we used to do when I was like a kid.
Yeah, Japan definitely has those as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
We get like the all-inclusive thing.
I need a piss quick.